dance team. Charlie Haynes is a Cherokee Indian from the Oklahoma Band of Cherokees. He started dancing at powwows at the age of 8 and eventually held world and national titles in war dance competition, which culminated in a 3.5-year dancing engagement at Disneyland. His wife, Gwen, was born in England but resided in Toronto, Canada, and New York State, where she performed with her high-schooled horse, Apache, and sang with a Western band. Cowgirl met Indian when Gwen visited Disneyland, and she decided to switch her career for Charlie's. They used Charlie's Indian name of Gray Eagle and became a dance team with the idea of presenting authentic dances of the American Indian to audiences all over the world. They have performed in Japan with Casey Tibbs' Wild West Show and Rodeo, through 30 countries on 5 continents with the fabulous Harlem Globetrotters, and across Charlie's native America, performing in over 1,400 schools and institutions.
The eagle is the strongest and flies the highest of all American birds, and therefore the Indian considered it to be an intermediary between himself and the Great Spirit. So in appreciation to this magnificent bird, the Indian dedicated a dance, and it's called the Eagle Dance. The following is a portion of the Zuni Eagle Dance.
First, I'd like to tell you that the dances we're going to do for you today are authentic Indian dances. Nothing has been changed to make them look prettier or fancier or more exciting. The way we're going to do them for you today is exactly the way they're done on the reservations at ceremonies and powwows. And as a result, some of the dances won't be quite as fast and fancy to watch as others, but they will be the authentic ceremonial dances. The costumes that we're wearing are the style of costumes that the Indians in Oklahoma wear when we go to a ceremony or powwow. Now, if you were to visit the Indians of the Southwest, such as the Navajo, the Pueblo, or the Indians of the Dakotas, or the Southeast, you'd see an entirely different style of costume. This is only the Oklahoma style of costume. And I might add that they were worn only on special occasions in the olden days. One of the reasons may have been it would have been a little difficult to have a very successful hunt with these bells on. And it would also have been a little difficult to sit on a horse's back with these feathers. So they are and were ceremonial. And another point I would like to emphasize to you is I am Indian. I'm Cherokee. The first dance that Gwen and I would like to do for you is a social dance. And this dance is the only dance at present-day powwows in which the men and women dance together in couples. The Sioux Indians call this the rabbit dance. The Oklahoma Indians call it the Indian two-step. And I might point out at the ceremonies when the Indians do this two-step, it is always ladies' choice. This means the girls get to pick the dance partners with whom they wish to dance. And it's customary, when the fellows have been selected, they may not refuse. They have to dance with the girls. So Gwen and I'll present the Indian two-step.
Yeah!
The next dance is a favorite among all the Indians throughout the United States, whether they be from Oklahoma, the Dakotas, or the Southwest. And this dance is the one that you see imitated whenever you watch Indians in Western movies or on Western television programs. In the movies, the scene opens on the night before a big Indian war. And we see the Indians war dancing all night long. No wonder the Indians in the movies can never win a battle. 'Cause I can tell you this, if I were to war dance all night long, the only thing you're going to find me doing the next day is sleeping. The war dance is not specifically danced before a war or a battle. The war dance is a fun dance, and it's also used at powwows for competition. And in this competition, there are two basic rules. First, you have to keep in step with the drum, and second, you have to stop exactly on the last drum beat. If you go over or under as much as half a beat, you'll be automatically disqualified from the contest. And no matter how well you dance throughout the entire dance, if you don't momentarily freeze on that last drum beat, you'll be disqualified. I'll present the famous Indian war dance.
When the white man first came to this country, there were almost 1 million Indians living here, speaking 300 different languages. In the olden days, they didn't know the English language. Instead, each tribe spoke its own language. For example, the Sioux Indians greeted one another with haukola, which means hello friend. The Choctaw said chimichukma. The Cherokee said osyo taija. And the Navajo said yatte, which all means basically the same thing. So when the tribes came in contact with one another, they had to have some way of communicating. So they developed a form of language with their hands, one they could all understand, which we today call Indian Sign Language. To demonstrate this, I would first like to show you a few of the signs that you might use each day. This is the sign for I. It also means me. To say my, you give the sign for I, followed by the sign for possession. To say you point to the person that you're talking to. To say your, you give the sign for you, followed by the sign for possession. This is the sign for all. It also means every. This is feet, or to walk. This sign from your shoulder with the first finger of your right hand in a grabbing motion means yes. This is no. And this is maybe. That means having two hearts, maybe. This is the sign for good, means coming from the heart. And this is bad, or yuck. Now you have to remember to fling your hand out to the side. If you fling it out in front of you, that means something else. That means shoot. Now in order to say beauty or beautiful in Indian Sign Language, there isn't one sign for this word. You must use a combination of two signs. To say beauty or beautiful, you would say face, good. So to say bad, you would say face, ugly. This is a sign for tired, the first two fingers of both hands. This means hungry. This is Indian. Rub the back of your left hand with the fingers of your right. To say white man, no, that doesn't mean scalped. See, in the olden days, most of the non-Indians wore hats or caps or cowboy hats. This indicated the brim of the hat. To say black man, you give the sign for hat, followed by the sign for color. Now from this, we could make up a couple of sentences. For example, my feet are tired. Or we could say, I'm hungry. Both true. Now to demonstrate this further, I'm going to recite an Indian prayer with its equivalent in Indian Sign Language. O Great Spirit, whose voice I hear in the winds, and whose breath gives life to all the world, hear me. I come before you, one of your many children. I am small and weak. I need your strength and wisdom. Let me walk in beauty and make my eyes ever behold the red and purple sunset. Make me wise that I may learn the lessons that you have hidden in every leaf and rock. So when life fades as a fading sunset, my spirit may come to you without shame.
The musical instrument that you heard playing in the background is what is known as an Indian love flute. Now, it isn't too well known that the Indians had any other musical instrument except the drum, but they had a flute called a love flute, and this is such an instrument, and it's simply hand carved out of cedar. Now, the purpose of this instrument was for young warriors to sit out in the evening and play love songs to their girlfriends. Now, I'm going to play a little for you to give you an idea of how this may have sounded many years ago if I were serenading my girl.
Thank you. And now in contrast to the man's fast and fancy war dance, the women's war dance is much slower and more dignified. It's an entirely different style of dancing. In fact, all of the women's dances are danced at a much slower pace than the men's. However, the rules are the same. You must keep in step with the drum, and you must stop on the last drum beat. When I demonstrate for you the women's style of war dancing, for the first half of the dance, I will dance in the slow and easy style of the Oklahoma tribes, and the second half of the dance, I will change to the style of the northern tribes, the women's style of war dancing.
Now, if you're thinking that this is a horse's tail, you're right, it is. And strange as it may seem, the next dance is a tribute to the horse for its many services to the Indian. Because as you know, in the olden days, with exception for walking, the horse was the Indian's only means of transportation. It carried the Indian into battle, carried him into the hunt, and it pulled the Indian's trailer, or travois. Now the travois was the two long poles strung behind a horse to carry the teepee. And in appreciation to the horse for its many services to the Indian dedicated a dance, and it's called the horsetail dance. Now in this dance, the dancer attempts to imitate the actions of a horse, such as the running, bucking, galloping, trotting, and so forth. The horsetail dance.
And now we wish to pay tribute to the Yakima Indians of the state of Washington with our version of their Swan Dance. This is the legend of the great white bird, the swan, who flies in from the snowy north. She hovers in the air and gently shakes the snow from her wings. In this way, she ushers in the first snowfall of winter, the Swan Dance.
Hey,
The next dance is the most difficult and the most spectacular of all Indian dances, and it's called the hoop dance. And it has two rules. First, again, you must keep in step with the drum. And second, you may not reach down and pick a hoop up off the floor with your hands. You have to use your feet to maneuver the hoop into reach of your hands, and then you see how well you can handle one hoop and how many different designs you can make with a number of hoops. The hoop dance.
In the olden days, when an Indian went to visit another Indian's village, the Indians of that village had a special dance to welcome him and thank him for coming to visit them. Today, since we are your visitors, we'd like to reverse the process, and to thank you for letting us come to visit you, we'd like to ask if there are a few of you who wish to come up on the stage and dance the round dance with us. Just a minute. Charlie will come out and pick you. Just a minute.
Okay. Let's have the person in the white and red striped shirt. Okay. It's the gentleman in the red and blue and striped shirt right here, second row. Right here. That's right. Okay. Young lady in the white right here. Right in the white blouse. Okay, how many do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the young lady in the yellow. We'll have the gentleman way in the back in the corner, standing up. Okay, we've got 7. Okay, let's see. The gentleman in the brown, light brown shirt there. You're 10. Okay, I believe that's all we can. Okay, one more. The young, right here in the white. Okay.